It's the Rob Carson Show. Are you ready to be pod-smacked? Now, here's Rob Carson.
Hello and welcome to episode number 194 of the Rob Carson Show podcast. If you are listening on iTunes, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Audio Boom, SoundCloud, all those other services, I'm there. It's 194. If you are looking for it in audio version, there you go. Also on the Podcast Radio Network, podcastradionetwork.com, every weekday night, 5 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And on, of course, Liberty One TV. Hold on. Yeah, Liberty One TV right here. Liberty One TV, of course, the video podcast network featuring patriots around the country, adding new talent every day. Some big surprises actually coming, but you won't know that until you become a member. LibertyOneTV.com, LibertyOneTV.com. It's only 33 cents a day. 33 cents a day, ladies and gentlemen. That is $10 a month, $99 a year. And more people are signing up every single day. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you, Terry Littlepage, the creator of this glorious network, for having me as a part of it. Also, if you get a chance to check out tpublic.com/user/conservatees. I have a host of politically incorrect designs that are available on T-shirts, that are available on hats. They are available on mugs, stickers like Murderous Commie Douchebag, Not a Hero, the Che Guevara shirt, very popular. Proud Climate Change Denier. There you go. Russia, Russia, Russia with Jan Brady. Sometimes war is the answer. We got a bunch of new stuff featuring the NFL. Stand for the anthem kind of stuff. You'll like that. You can't coexist when some want to kill you, featuring the coexist bumper sticker that has religious symbols. And, of course, veganism is an eating disorder. All of those are available in full color. These are high-quality things. And they look great, by the way. They look great. And they are, again, available in my hair. I'm messing with my hair here. Available at teepublic.com/user/conservatees, TEES. All right, check those out. Now, much to get to on the radio/video program today. I want to get into Bill O'Reilly. I'm not an O'Reilly defender. I'm not a Fox News defender. I really despise both of them at this point, although I do watch Fox News, and I do enjoy me some, The Five. I like Outnumbered. I like The Morning Show. All these. I like the take on the day's events from Fox News, but I'm not going to defend Bill O'Reilly being a sexual harassing a-hole, which he was. $45 million paid by this douchebag, Bill O'Reilly, blowhard, douchebag, idiot, a-hole. I'm going to get into that in a minute, but, honestly, I'm not afraid to call people out when they're wrong. And Fox News, I'm not going to defend you for your culture of depravity, childish fraternity culture that you had. Not going to go there. Not going to go there. And Bill O'Reilly, I always thought you were a douchebag. Now I have real evidence that you are a douchebag. Wow, the food stamp rolls are dropping off. 1.5 million Americans dropped off food stamps since Donald Trump became president. The SNAP program. I won't get into the numbers extensively because it's confusing. But from May to July alone, nearly 400,000 Americans got off food stamps. There you go. Make America great again. Listen, free groceries are great. Don't get me wrong. But government assistance is not fun for most people. If you have to go there, it's bad. It's a bad scene. People are getting along much better with this president as the president. The last president, we had 45 million, I believe, more people in poverty. The food stamp program went through the ceiling. And that's fine with Democrats because that means votes. That means votes. Bill O'Reilly has repeatedly blamed reports of sexual misconduct on a politically motivated media. On Monday, he admitted that he also blames God. Quote, am I mad at God? Yeah, I'm mad at him, O'Reilly said in his latest episode of his web series, No Spin News. I wish I had more protection. Okay. I wish this stuff didn't happen. I can't explain it to you. Yeah, I'm mad at him. Bill, you're a dick. All right, Bill, you're a dick, okay? You sexually harassed women. You did it, all right? You're an a-hole. You were part of Roger Ailes' culture. And you know what? I'm not going to defend Roger Ailes either. He's dead. I talked to Roger Ailes in the early 90s when I was writing for Rush Limbaugh. And I love Rush, and Rush is a good guy. But I'm not going to defend Roger Ailes. And if you just look at Fox News. If you look at Fox News 6 months ago versus today, Andrea Tantaros, Juliette Huddy, short skirts. Do you ever watch The Five? Do you ever watch Outnumbered? Outnumbered should be called 8 Legs and a Dude. Come on, guys. Give me an effing break. Fox News was very sexual. Fox News was very, very, very sexual. Listen, I like gorgeous women delivering the news. I love them. I love seeing new, short skirts. It's great. But to say that that the sexual culture didn't exist at Fox News and it was sponsored by Roger Ailes, you're high, right? It existed. I remember watching Juliette Huddy. She actually worked as an intern at a radio station I worked at in the early 90s, Columbia, Missouri. She disappeared. Andrea Tantaros. Well, they're gone. Why? Why did they disappear? Because they were harassed and paid off. O'Reilly said he derives perspective from the tribulations of others, including Kate Steinle, a woman who's allegedly shot by an undocumented immigrant who has been the subject of O'Reilly commentaries. He emphatically denied the claims, insisting that his wealth and fame made him a target for accusations. You don't pay $45 million if people are just going after you because of your fame and wealth. You're a pig. Quote from Bill O'Reilly. If I die tomorrow and I get an opportunity, I'll say, why did you guys work me over like that? Didn't you know my children were going to be punished and they're innocent? But then I think about people who have it much, much rougher than me. And, I'm a big mouth. I'm a target. They're not targets. He went on on a radio show hosted by Glenn Beck, who vouched for O'Reilly's character. Glenn Beck is a psycho who needs to up his meds. I'm not gonna defend Glenn effing Beck either. He's a psycho. John Huddy fired from his position at Fox News on Monday morning. He was fired about the same time his sister Juliette Huddy came on the Today Show. Juliette Huddy came on the same show with Megyn Kelly to discuss her settled sexual harassment allegations against Bill O'Reilly. During the show, Juliette revealed that O'Reilly settled with her for an undisclosed amount of money in return for a non-disclosure agreement. And nearly immediately after the interview, it was announced that John Huddy had lost his job. He worked as a foreign correspondent based in Jerusalem since 2014. That's apparently what happened. The network's investigation concluded last week, and due to observation of the Sabbath on Friday, terminated Huddy's employment this morning. Apparently, he worked as a correspondent in Jerusalem. Apparently, it comes following a thorough investigation into a physical altercation earlier this month. Whatever. Fox. I'm very disappointed in you, Fox. I really am disappointed in you. And I got to tell you, as I have with so many terrestrial radio networks, I am willing to also say, screw you to terrestrial TV networks like Fox News if they're going to pull this crap. I don't like Megyn Kelly. I think she's insufferable. I really do. And her show's terrible, her new show. She's not a likable person. Fine. But on her show last week, she talked about some of the issues with Fox News, and I believe her to be credible. Here she is.
O'Reilly calls the Times reports a malicious smear, claiming that no woman in 20 years ever complained to Human Resources or legal about him. Maybe that is true. Fox News was not exactly a friendly environment for harassment victims who wanted to report, in my experience. However, O'Reilly's suggestion that no one ever complained about his behavior is false. I know because I complained. It was November of 2016, the day my memoir was released. In it, I included a chapter on Ailes and the sexual harassment scandal at Fox News, something the Murdochs knew I was doing and, to their credit, approved. O'Reilly happened to be on CBS News that morning. They asked him about my book and about Ailes, who by this time had been forced out in disgrace. O'Reilly's response?
I'm not that interested in this.
No?
No,
I mean, it's sexual harassment? You're not interested in sexual harassment?
I'm not interested in basically litigating something that is finished that makes my network look bad. Okay? I'm not interested.
Makes his network look bad. Doesn't mention himself.
In making my network look bad at all. That doesn't interest me one bit.
I don't give a shite what interests you, you slack-jawed douchebag. A little more from Megyn Kelly.
I did something that day I've never done before. I wrote an email to the co-presidents of Fox News, Bill Shine and Jack Abernathy. An email I have never made public, but am sharing now because I think it speaks volumes about powerful men and the roadblocks one can face in taking them on. I wrote in part, perhaps he didn't realize the kind of message his criticism sends to young women across this country about how men continue to view the issue of speaking out about sexual harassment. Perhaps he didn't realize that his exact attitude of shaming women into shutting the hell up about harassment on grounds that it will disgrace the company is in part how Fox News got into the decade-long Ailes mess to begin with. Perhaps it's his own history of harassment of women, which has, as you both know, resulted in payouts to more than one woman, including recently, that blinded him to the folly of saying anything other than, I am just so sorry for the women of this company who never should have had to go through that.
It's fairly obvious. It's fairly obvious. I mean, Fox News, and I always liked Fox News. I like to watch the gorgeous women of Fox News. MSNBC is the opposite of that. But I always felt that way. Juliette Huddy was just eye candy. And I'm not saying she's not talented. Andrea Tantaros, very smart woman. I've got her book upstairs, which features her with her arms tied above her head. It's a sexually provocative book. They always put the beautiful women on either side. When it comes to the five, they always put the beautiful women surrounding the guys on outnumbered. And come on, man. I mean, Fox News is sexualized news, all right? And I didn't mind that. You let women use their sexuality for power. Hell yeah. But abusing women. And Bill O'Reilly abused women. Roger Ailes. I don't have anything to fear from Roger Ailes anymore. He's dead. But Roger Ailes fostered this environment at Fox News. It existed. It was paid out. And I will not defend Fox News, and I never liked Bill O'Reilly. I think he's a douche. He's a big, flaming, slack-jawed, pelican, flappy skin chinned, if that's what you call it, douchebag. I don't like him. A little more from Megyn Kelly, folks.
Bill Shine called me in response to my email promising to deal with O'Reilly. By 8 p.m. that night, O'Reilly had apparently been dealt with. And by that I mean he was permitted, with management's advance notice and blessing, to go on the air and attack the company's harassment victims yet again.
Yep.
If somebody is paying you a wage, you owe that person or company allegiance. If you don't like what's happening in the workplace, go to human resources or leave. I've done that.
You're a dick.
And then take the action you need to take afterward if you feel aggrieved. There are labor laws in this country. But don't run down the concern that supports you by trying to undermine it.
Bill O'Reilly had a position of power like Harvey Weinstein. He had a position of power like Harvey Weinstein. And I'm sure he used it many times. One more comment from Megyn Kelly.
This is not unique to Fox News. Women everywhere are used to being dismissed, ignored, or attacked when raising complaints about men in authority positions.
I thought we went through this. I mean, pardon me, I don't sexually harass. I just never had that power sexually. But I've never sexually harassed. I don't understand it. I love the women in my life too much to do that to someone. But I thought this was all taken care of with the Anita Hill, Clarence Thomas, when he was being grilled to be Supreme Court Justice, and he made some lewd comments. I really thought that was the end of sexual harassment. I obviously was wrong.
They stay silent so often out of fear. Fear of ending their careers, fear of lawyers, yes, and often fear of public shaming, including through the media. At Fox News, the media relations chief, Irina Briganti, is known for her vindictiveness. To this day, she pushes negative articles on certain Ailes accusers, like the one you are looking at right now.
Uh-oh.
It gives me no pleasure to report such news about my former employer, which has absolutely made some reforms since all of this went down. But this must stop. The abuse of women, the shaming of them, the threatening, the retaliation, the silencing of them after the fact, it has to stop.
As much as not standing for the national anthem has made me not want to watch the NFL, this makes me want to say F Fox. As much as we talked about everybody knew in Hollywood, everybody knew in Washington, D.C. about Harvey Weinstein. You tell me that everybody didn't know at Fox News what was going on. And I love Brian Kilmeade, and I love a lot of people on that network. I really do. Greg Gutfeld, I love him. I know people at Fox News. But I think a lot of people knew a lot of shit at Fox News. And I'm just disappointed. I'm just disappointed. I really am. I like watching Fox News. I do. Although not as much lately. I mean, there are a million other ways to get your news. Don't get me wrong. I search constantly. I have countless websites. But I don't know. I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed. Roger Ailes seems he was kind of a pig. He was a throwback. He's not here to defend himself, but at the same time, I think he's kind of a pig. And he fostered this kind of attitude with regard to women. So whatever. Take it for what it's worth, folks. If you disagree, you can write me, carsonontheradio@gmail.com. Did I mention you need to become a member? LibertyOneTV.com, right up there. Liberty One, see it right there, right in your Liberty One. If you are watching me on Liberty One TV, become a member, okay? It's only $33 or 33 cents a day, $10 a month, $99. Sorry, I screwed up. $10 a month, $99 a year. We are adding some new talent, including some major talk talent, nationally syndicated talk talent, who happens to be a friend of mine. He's going to be joining very shortly. So I hope you will become a member because it pays our bills. Jessie Jackson is a barely understandable orator. Jessie Jackson, dear God in heaven. Jessie Jackson rode the coattails of Martin Luther King Jr. and has been riding them ever since. He's an imbecile. He's known as this great orator, and he's not. You can barely understand what he said. And yes, I'll call out Jessie Jackson for his hair lip. Anyway, he was talking to Fox Sports 1's Undisputed, talking about the national anthem protests, and he's always on the wrong side of history. Here he is talking a little bit about, and this just gets so good. Listen to Jessie effing Jackson, race baiter in chief, about the NFL protests.
Well, how much impact do you think the protests have had so far?
It has raised the consciousness about a lot of issues. For example,
does he have meat in his mouth when he talks? Is there?
the real ownership of the league does not reflect national IQ. It says a lot about the social strata. The song itself has great meaning to us, the national anthem, but it's written by
he said, I think national anthem. Go ahead.
A slave owner, Francis Scott Key.
Yeah.
And they never sing the third verse. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight and the gloom of the grave. That's in that same song. And it never was about the flag. That's Mr. Trump's issue. The issue was about.
Let's get that guy a glass of water. I mean, something there. He's got the and it sounds very dry.
Racial disparities.
Yeah.
And the issue had to do with Rodney King beat nearly to death, and the 4 police who beat him walked free. Trayvon Martin killed, and the killer walked free.
He was talking about Trayvon Martin, who attacked George Zimmerman because he thought George Zimmerman was trying to pick him up because he's gay. Thought you should know.
Diallo killed in New York, and the police walked free.
I don't even know what he said there. I think he said something about a pasta dish. Well, let's hear that again. Hold on.
Trayvon Martin killed, and the killer walked free.
Got that? Yeah.
Diallo killed in New York, and the police walked free.
Yeah, that's a pasta dish. I'm going to try that.
And so we knelt before the flag. He didn't desecrate the flag. He didn't try to burn the flag. He didn't put up a Confederate flag, which is an anti-American flag. My father had to sit behind Nazi prisoners of war on American military bases. He had to sit behind the Nazis on American military bases with the flag flying. The flag. And this is not about the flag. We honor the flag, but the flag must represent all of us, and oftentimes it does not.
Okay. Might have been talking about pasta at the end there. I'm not sure. Here's a little bit more from
Colin Kaepernick took a stand.
Yes.
Not sure he realized he was risking his job, but it appears he has lost his job. What has he meant to you as sort of the face of this movement within the National Football League?
In the same tradition of Muhammad Ali, who changed his name.
Yeah, not in the same tradition of Muhammad Ali. These guys are paid a hell of a lot of money. Muhammad Ali, it was a completely different time. He was protesting the Vietnam War.
From his religious position against the war, he took his title. He said, you can have the title, but you can't have the championship because I won that. You cannot sell me. All free agencies around the world owe their wages and their benefits to Kurt Flood, who paid the price of rebelling against a system of oppression. And it is oppressive. To go from picking cotton balls to picking footballs and basketballs without freedom is
Did you hear that? That is the most insulting effing thing I've ever heard in my life. You are, again, discounting the suffering of generations of people in bondage for high-paid athletes who have multi-million-dollar contracts, have shoes made by Nike with their names on them. This is just sickening.
And it is oppressive. To go from picking cotton balls to picking footballs and basketballs.
You are such an asshole. Why would you say that? Honestly, Jesse Jackson, this is why you're so irrelevant. This is why you banged your office assistant. You have an illegitimate son. You are a hypocritical a-hole. You've always lived by a different standard than that you preached. Oh, this man is sickening.
Basketballs without freedom is not very much progress. It's just a line to move. And what strikes me is that in football, the reason why so many guys are standing when the president says, fire them, and we're talking about sons of bitches. These boys are not sons of bitches. They're sons of mothers who produce champions. They're not sons of bitches. They're sons of mothers who produce champions.
You're a father. Never mind.
They really are. And he comes that strong, and the president comes that strong. These guys have no guaranteed contracts. Unlike basketball or baseball, there are no guaranteed contracts. So you stand today.
I hate to tell you this. Most American workers don't have contracts. All right? I've signed contracts. You got to be a really big deal to get a contract that if they cut you, they have to pay you anyway. Bill O'Reilly. Been there before, Jesse. Dear God, to compare that, well, these are contracts that you can be cut to slavery. You are such a sellout SOB.
You guys have no guaranteed contracts. Unlike basketball or baseball, there are no guaranteed contracts. So you stand today, but you don't play tomorrow. That's workplace harassment. That's illegal.
That's workplace harassment. That's illegal. I honestly don't even know. I just don't even know what to say. Jesse Jackson, I mean, on it's full circle, just wow. I mean, he's so out of touch with the average person, white or black. Dear God in heaven. I mean, I don't know where you are in your life, but oh man, don't even know. I mean, honestly, picking cotton to picking footballs. I would pick cotton all damn day if I could make $5 million a year. I mean, come on, man. All right. Matt Damon and George Clooney were on Good Morning America yesterday talking about Harvey Weinstein. Matt said he always knew Weinstein was a bully, but he didn't know about the criminal accusations. I'm going to go ahead and say bullshit on that. Here's a little bit from Matt Damon.
You had to spend about 5 minutes with him to know that he was a bully. He was intimidating. That was his legend. That was his whole kind of MO. Like, you know, could you survive a meeting with Harvey? Could you stand up for yourself with Harvey? So when people say, like, everybody knew, like, yeah, I knew he was proud of that. You know what I mean? That's how he carried himself. And I knew he was
a-hole was the word they believed.
A womanizer. You know, I wouldn't want to be married to the guy. But this level of criminal sexual predation is not something that I ever thought.
Predation?
Thought was going.
Is that a word?
Going on. Absolutely not. I knew the story about Gwyneth from Ben because he was with her after Brad. If there was ever an event.
She was with Ben after Brad. Okay.
Or something that I was at in public with Harvey, and he was doing this kind of thing.
They pass him around, you know.
And I missed it. And there's some woman who was somehow assaulted, and, you know, it was at the Golden Globes or something like that, and I somehow missed it, then I'm sorry.